Afadhali mzee ambaye ni mtulivu, ambaye hana haja ya kujaza mifuko yake, ambaye atachunga masilahi ya watu yake, badala ya mdomo tamtamu 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 tamtamu. Lakini akiingia ni wale wa kufanya moja yako, nusu ya mwananchi, mbili yako na tano yangu, na mnawajua nyinyi mna.
Kutafuta uongozi kwa kutumia dini au kutumia kabila unagawa watu. Kazi ya uongozi ni kujenga watu wawe kitu kimoja.
The 2.2 billion has been spent in the office of the president and State House between July and September. If you do that calculation, it means that we spend in that office 23 million per day and 1 million per hour. That cannot be sustainable.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending where you're watching us from. And indeed, this is another great moment, another great time where I welcome you tonight on our amazing show. Tonight, this is an open forum discussion show where we'll be rolling down and discussing more details tonight. And I'll be your host tonight, Ashadizo, as we continue to roll down and to continue to discuss more matters raising up inside our nation and bringing the solution to it. And also, without forgetting, I'll also remind you that on our tonight episode, we'll be looking about Raila leadership transition to Raila Odinga leadership transition, and also be looking about Ruto's female running mate hints on tonight's episode. So without forgetting that this is Sound Candy Talk, and you can get us on Sound Candy Talk live Facebook, Sound Candy Talk live to YouTube, Sound Candy Talk YouTube also. Those are another channel. And also you can get us on X at Sound Candy Talk. Also tonight you can get us on M Bernard at Sound Candy Talk or M Bernard Ngozi on Facebook. And this is open forum, and I welcome you all people wherever you're watching us from. Please just tell me and comment on the comment section. Please tell me wherever you are getting us from, and it will be of great and also be good. I'll just go down by just saying hi to some few people as we roll back to our mother tonight. And without forgetting to ask you, please don't just watch alone. Invite somebody to watch with, and invite somebody to be with and be part of this, so that we can discuss this together and we can come to conclusion together. Yesterday we looked more details and everything that was being raised up about Pastor Margaret Wanjiru, whose church was demolished yesterday, and it was so much chaos in the CBD. And today we've also been getting another update about the Neno Evangelism Center, where the signatory were being rolled out about also the land issue. We'll be looking more details towards on tomorrow or another episode. But tonight we are focusing on the leadership that Raila chose. Tonight Raila decided, today Raila decided to give the mantle towards Oparanya and also Joho. Do you feel they can rule the mantle. And so that leads us to our poll question tonight. Without forgetting to tell you our poll question tonight. Our poll question tonight is asking, do you think Oparanya and Joe are up to the task of leading ODM? Your answer is yes or no. Please tell me on the poll question, please. And if you vote, please remember to like the video and also remember to share the video. Don't just watch alone. Invite somebody, mwambie tumekuja na mioto. Please invite somebody to watch with and be part and parcel of this. Also, still remind you to our WhatsApp poll question. That is in Sound Candid Talk. I see there is 100 votes saying yes. Oparanya and Joe, they are up to tax. Let me scroll another channel. The poll question is the same on Sound Candid Talk. The poll question is asking, do you think Oparanya and Joe are up to the task of leading ODM? And I see 60% says yes and 40% says no. So let us continue voting, and also as we vote, please let us like the video. Let us like the video and let us share, and also invite people to watch and be part and parcel of this as we discuss this political open forum tonight. Please don't just be there and watch alone. Invite somebody to be part of this. And soon, shortly I'll be sharing the link so that we can join you and we can discuss this together, and also see more details towards this. Do you feel Raila has done something that's good? And do you feel the people that Oparanya and Joe are up to the task? We will be looking more details towards that. But before we roll more and more, please let me just say hi to some few people who joined me inside to the live tonight. People in the comment section, I thank you and appreciate it. Say, I will begin with Freedom. Freedom is the first one tonight. Hi, Freedom. Freedom is saying hi, hello, Bernard. Thank you. I hope Bernard has get the greetings. I see again, Freedom again. I see Esther saying hey, good evening, Bernard, and all the guys. Thank you, Esther, for that. I see also hey, Charles Green. Thank you. Say Ruto keep okay, keep lying. Okay, thank you. I see it. I also see Esther say, hi, Freedom. Thank you. I see also Charles Green again. I see Elizabeth Mfwanyi. Thank you, Elizabeth. I see Lai. Thank you for Professor Lai. I see also another people laying Freedom saying, hi, Shadizo. Thank you, Professor. Hi everyone. Please just tell me where you're getting us from, and it will be great, so that even if you're getting me audible, please tell me. And if my sound has a little problem, please also tell me. This is Sound Candid Talk, the home where we is life and change the masses. Please, I welcome you with the wholeheartedly. Please join me inside the studio so that we can roll it down. Let me bring up again the poll question tonight. The poll question inauliza kwamba wewe unahisi kwamba Oparanya na Joho wanaweza kulongoza chama cha ODM ama hawajafika? Wewe kwa Kiswahili cha mtaa tunasema wamefika mboga au hawajafika? Naomba uniambie kwa comment section kile wewe unafikiria, na also join kwa suluhu tujadiliane. Mniambie kila nyinyi mnafikiria kwamba Raila amefanya kitu sahihi ama amekosea. Join tusemezane, join tujadili leo na tuweze kujua kudadavua mambo zaidi na zaidi, na kujua wapi penye tunaguza ama wapi tunawapa mchango na wapi tunawapa suluhisho ya kuweza kuongoza vyema. Na tunajua tunaona tena Ruto anawaahidi tena wanawake kwamba atawapa sehemu ya serikali, kwamba iwe nusu ni wanawake, nusu ya asilimia kwa serikali iwe wanawake na nusu ya asilimia ya serikali iwe wanaume. Hadi tena ameitoa mara ya pili baada hadi kuitoa mwaka mmoja alipokuwa akifanya kampeni, na tena leo naona tena amerejelea ile hadi sawia. John tunaweza tuone kwamba kweli hii hadi atatimiza ama imegwama hivyo. Tafadhali naomba ukaribisha mtu, mwamushe kama yule alikuwa amelala, mwamushe, mwambie tumekuja, show iko. Naona namba ya watazamaji imegwama. Tafadhali wacha tuongeze, na tena namba ya likes imegwama. Ongeza likes, please click your button ya like, na also share zaidi kadri uwezo wako. Share kwa group, share kwa kila mmoja wakaweza kutazama na kaweze kupatana na sisi, ili tuweze kuendelea kudadavua pamoja na kuchanganua pamoja na kuweza kupata suluhisho na kujua wapi tatizo lipo, ama tujue tunasaidiana vipi ili kuleta suluhisho katika nchi yetu ya Kenya. Na karibisha wote nyote kwa moyo mkunjufu. Tafadhali kama ni mara yako ya kwanza kupita katika channel yetu, bonyeza kile kidude cha subscribe na kisha bonyeza kidude cha kengele kuonesha kwamba utapata taarifa tunapokuja live ama tunapo-upload ama tunapoleta taarifa kila wakati zikitokea. Na wale ambao mnatufuata kwa Facebook, tafadhali naomba bonyeza kile kidude cha follow, na itakuwa ya manufaa sana. Sitawachoza na mengi, wacha tunazidi kuzunguka kujadiliana. Na ndani ya studio nipo na Douglas, atakuwa anajiunga na sisi kwa ufupi, lakini tusikose kukaribisha mtu tunatazama kipindi pia, na nitakuwa tutacheza mkururu wa video. Lakini kabla tuende kwa hayo, wacha tuone.
Tunaingia vijijini, mijini na hata jijini kukuletea taarifa mchana kutwa. Usiku tunakaa kitako, tunadadavua tukichanganua taarifa na makala muhimu yanayokuhusu wewe na familia yako.
Nasikia watu wanasema baba ametusaliti. Between baba kutusaliti na sisi kusaliti baba, nani amesaliti mwingine?
Inapeangwa, it mostly goes to foreign ministries. So baba is overqualified for that position.
To build this railways for Africa. So now he's thinking about tumemkataa kama baba wetu.
Unaweza kuwa kuna mtoto ulizaa ukapatia nchi ikuwa inamfanya vile inataka.
Uhuru has been working very hard. Ruto akaenda huko na nguvu. Ruto was never invited in the inauguration.
Ungana na Bernard Ngozi kwenye Open Forum Political Show kuanzia saa 4 usiku hadi dakika zake kila siku ya wiki kwenye Sound Card Talk.
Open Forum Political Discussion Show. The show that gives you an opportunity to air what you feel and think about the latest development.
Tukutane Sound Card Talk.
Karibuni tena na zaidi na nazidi kuwakaribisha. Asante sana kwa wale ambao mnajiunga na sisi studioni. Njooni, karibuni, njooni tudadavue. Na muona Lala ameshafika na nakazidi kumkaribisha ndani ya studio. Karibu Lala tena, naona Douglas na mimi pia, na mimi hapa. Na kabla sijakukaribisha tuendelee kwa mjadala, wacha nitacheza video yetu ya leo ama mada, nitawapeleka kwa mada ya siku ili tuweze kuwa kwa kiwango kimoja tunapozidi kujadiliana na kujua Raila Odinga ameamua kuwapa vijana mamlaka. Wacha tuone ndio ipo tuendelee.
Kinara wa ODM Raila Odinga sasa amewatwika jukumu la kuendesha chama cha ODM magavana wa zamani Ali Hassan Joho na Wycliffe Oparanya. Odinga ambaye alikuwa katika kaunti ya Wajir amesema wawili hao watakuwa wakisimamia shughuli za chama cha ODM atakapokuwa akizunguka bara Afrika kutafuta uungwaji mkono kuwa mwenyekiti wa tume ya mataifa ya bara Afrika.
3, 6 Oparanya, Gavana Ali Hassan Joho, si wako hapa? Vinara vya ODM, wana hawa watu, sibina hawa watashikana pamoja. Chama ambaye iko na msingi mzuri hawezi kusambaratika ati mtu mmoja maenda kando namna hii. Chama sio mtu, chama ni wanachama na viongozi. Na mimi nina hakika hawa ambaye niko nao hapa wanatosha, watazidi kuendesha mambo ya chama hata kama mimi niko kule Addis Ababa.
Mambo ni kama hayo vile mmeona, na sijui nawaambia nini, lakini mambo ni kama hayo vile Raila amesema, na tutazidi kuzungumza masuala mengi kuhusiana na hilo. Lakini kabla tujazungumzana kwa hilo, wacha tunawakaribisha Douglas na Lala watusabahi kwanza, nipo tuendelee pamoja tukiwa kwa pamoja. Douglas, vipi?
Poa sana. Vipi Shadiza?
Niko salama pia na mimi.
Asante kwa kunikaribisha kwa show yako leo. Ningependa pia kukaribisha kila mtu mwenye amejiunga nasi ndani ya studio na Lala kwa comment section. Kila mtu mwenye ako kwa comment section, mahali popote walipo wanajiunga nasi, karibu kwenye show. Asante.
Asante. Lala, tafadhali naomba tusabai kabla tuendelee.
It's good to see you. Chadizo na wengine wote, Douglas na wengine wote, amjambo. It's another day Mungu ametupa riziki ya kufika na kuangalia mambo vilivyo na tena contribute
yani to the processes ambazo ziko mbele zetu, mbeleni. Asanteni. And nafurahi kuwa hapa.
Asante Lala. Watu ambao kwa comment section wazidi kuwashukuru. Naona pale boss lady anasema hi Lala, anasema tena hi Douglas, hi Shadizo, hi everyone. Thank you. Not nice. Naona pale Nikto. Nyambane. Thank you for Nikto Nyambane. I think it's the first time. Naona Ruth anasema hi Shadizo. Thank you. Naona Freedom. Naona McDonald Oyolo. Hey, thank you McDonald. It's been quite long, maze. Thank you for that. It's a great indeed. Naona Juliet anasema no. Naona Freedom, thank you for that. Wanashukuru wote ambao mnatufuata kwa comment section. Zidi kukaribisha mtu, namba ya watazamaji imekwama pale, naomba tukazidi kuiongeza na tutazidi kuingia kwa mjadala wetu leo. Na mjadala wetu leo tunafungua na poll question. Na poll question yetu leo inasema kwamba do you think Oparanya and Joe are up to the task of leading ODM? Tutaanza kusikiza kwa leo kwa studio. Naona sound can talk wa 75% wanasema kwamba, 45% wanasema kwamba ndio, na 25% wanasema hapana. Hebu tuangalie sound can talk, tusikie wanasema vipi. Our main channel wanasema hivi, watu 61 wanasema kwamba ndio. Naona ndio kwamba Oparanya na Joho wanaweza kutoshea hiyo kiatu, na 37% wanasema hapana. Tafadhali naomba nipe maoni yako na tuambie popote ambapo unatupata, na itakuwa vyema tunapozidi kuingia kwa mjadala. I'll just begin with the poll question, which is also part of the discussion tonight, and I'll begin with Lala. I'll invite Lala as we begin the show tonight. Lala will open up for us the discussion tonight. Lala, what do you feel? Do you feel the way that Raila has done, is it good, or do you feel they are not up to the task? Do you feel Joho and Oparanya are up to the task of leading ODM?
Asante kwa lilo swali, and I'm happy to contribute maoni yangu. Kama umesomea leadership, tunajua they are those wale wanaitwa those are inborn, yani wale who are just born that way. Kuna theory that try to help us understand inborn, but then I'm more into process leadership. Okay, it is I believe it is kind of leadership that is not with one person, but all of us together, working together. If we cannot do it together, then we don't need to exist. If we are waiting for one person to do it, I think we made a big mistake. But if process leadership, it means that when Baba is gone, okay, over there, there is an organization that still has got its head and tail, and it can still go on and work. As a matter of fact, it can it should be able to do better because the history is there already. Baba's left a history there, and all of us now are come to learn what our role is. So everyone has a role to play. So this type of leadership depends on relationships. How do we coordinate? It's almost like when you are in a processing plant. There's an input, then there's an output. So every part has its own part. So if you are a process leader, then you look at the entire process. So each part has its own leadership. And that way, I think we are in very good hands. If we're looking for one person, then we are sunk. We may not make it, even as a nation. So my hope is that we've learned to understand what leadership is, and that we will go with Joho and Oparanya, and all of us will take our part. And I'm telling you, Baba will be very happy as we do what needs to be done. So I'm okay with it. With the leadership that we have, I think it needs to be developed more and more and more. Baba is not gone. Baba is still there. He's still an inspirational leader. Okay, and so we should be good. So I'm okay with it too. Somebody else can disagree with me, but to me, I think it's perfectly fine. I think they can do it. The only thing is that they got to listen to the process type of leadership. They are not there to be masters and lords. They are there to facilitate. They are there to help us understand and unravel what needs to be unraveled. They are to be able to show us how we can interconnect and connect with the entire process, and that we can be able to deliver it. We can deliver services to our people and also deliver the country from this yoke of oppression and the bondage that we are in right now. Sasa mimi shida hao wawili nafikiri na wamekuwa gavana nzuri sana. Yani Joho alikuwa good governor, Oparanya a great governor. So as a process which is concerned with the internal aspect of leadership, I think they're fine. And if they like it, they can always get it. They can come to me. I went to Harvard Business School. I can give them some of my ideas, and there are others who can help them, and they'll be fine. So we are following, and we are happy. Let them take the leadership. Thank you.
Thank you, Lara, for that submission. Indeed, that's great. Please invite somebody to watch. People, the number of viewers is stuck so much, meaning we are not sharing the video. We are not sharing the video. Please let us share the video. Let us share the video. Invite somebody to watch and invite somebody to be part of this. And those who are joining, please use the link on the comment section to join. Whether you're watching us from the Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or Twitter, please use the link to join us. And the link will help you to stream and configure your camera and your audio and be part and parcel of this So please, I invite you, don't just watch alone, invite somebody. The number is so stuck. Please, we haven't reached even 100 people. Please, let us move it to 400. Please share the link. Share the link, please. I invite you so that also we can invite somebody. Mwamushe mtu kama ni kupiga simu mpigie, mwambie tumekuja na kivumbi leo. Tonight we must know. Mtazamo wako ni upi? Let me welcome Douglas. Douglas, how do you feel? Do you feel Johan Oparanya that up to the game?
Okay, thank you, Shadizo. And first of all, before I make my submission, I would want to, agree with Lala that they are up to the task. Number one, because Joe and Oparanya have been the deputy party leaders of ODM, if I'm not wrong. I'm not very sure, but I think they are the current deputy party leaders of ODM. So they just they have been there. They've been learning from Raila. They've been under him. They've been helping him run the party, so they know what the party stands for, and they are aware. It's not something that they are going to learn along the way. Although now they are the front guys, but they've been there. Albeit behind the curtains. Secondly, it's because they've demonstrated that their leadership in the past. Oparanya, for instance, since his leadership, I think he has demonstrated leadership in the past since his days as minister, I think. And you come from Kakamega County, right? You can attest to the fact that he did a good job as governor of Kakamega County. And Joho has proven to be a very solid and dependable leader. I don't know about his performance in Mombasa County in his 10-year tenure as at the helm, but he has demonstrated to be a solid and very reliable leader for Raila Odinga. So I think, but I don't think it's possible that we can have two party leaders for ODM. So maybe they're going to have to choose who's going to be the party leader and what is the other one going to do. But I think they're the right guys to take it after Raila Odinga. But they're coming in to fill really big shoes because Raila has managed to craft ODM to be a party. I think it's the only party which has remained very solid and very relevant since its formation about 20 years ago. All these other parties, they're just vehicles for an election. They come, they go, they reconfigure themselves. PNU was at some point very popular, but right now it's just there. We had TNA came and went, Jubilee came. So all these parties have just been vehicles to get people into office. But once that is done, once that person is done with it, they sort of take the back seat. KANU is the one which has been, KANU is the oldest party in Kenya, but you cannot say that it is as popular right now in the country. But ODM, Baba has really managed to, to keep it there. It's I think we can use it as other parties can benchmark from ODM on what political parties should stand for, their ideals. They shouldn't just be vehicles for getting people into power. But this is the real test for ODM, now that Baba, the founder, the person who came up, who founded ODM, is no longer going to be, very involved in matters of ODM. Now, this is the real test. Is it still going to remain relevant? And I think the people who are going to prove if it was really a party that had ideals, and it's a party that has become rooted over the years. I think the two guys who he has given his blessings to carry the baton. Thank you.
Thank you. Please invite somebody to watch and be part of this. Please don't just be in there. Don't just watch alone, please. People are watching alone. People are being jealous of sharing the link. We are still under 100, less than 100 viewers. So please let us keep up the game so that we can reach more than 100 viewers, so that we can continue together as one, so that we can continue benefiting together. I'll play again the video, and also I'll play the video towards our next part of the topic tonight. We'll be looking more details towards it as we continue tonight.
William Samuel.
Kinara wa ODM Raila Odinga sasa amewatwika jukumu la kuendesha chama cha ODM magavana wa zamani Ali Hassan Joho na Wycliffe Oparanya. Odinga ambaye alikuwa katika kaunti ya Wajir amesema wawili hao watakuwa wakisimamia shughuli za chama cha ODM atakapokuwa akizunguka bara Afrika kutafuta uungwaji mkono kuwa mwenyekiti wa tume ya mataifa ya bara Afrika.
3, 6 Oparanya, Gavana Ali Hassan Joho. Si wako hapa? Vinara vya ODM. Wana hawa watu. Sibina hawa. Watashikana pamoja. Chama ambaye iko na msingi mzuri hawezi kusambaratika ati mtu mmoja maenda kando namna hii. Chama sio mtu. Chama ni wanachama na viongozi. Na mimi nina hakika hawa ambaye niko nao hapa wanatosha. Watazidi kuendesha mambo ya chama hata kama mimi niko kule Addis Ababa.
Ni hivyo kuko, waje tutazame. Na kwa pande wa pili tumetazama kwamba tumeona rais leo akaambia mama na kahaidi wa Kenya kwamba anataka kugawanya serikali iwe nusu wanaume nusu wanawake. Na pia tena wale alipokuwa kampeni alisema swala hilo tu.
Vile tunaitanga mtaani tunaitanga stories za ajabu.
Wacha tutazame mwaka mmoja ulioisha. Alafu tutatazama video leo tena ndio tuone, ndio tuweze kujadili pamoja. Tafadhali, naona ambao watazamaji bado yuko chini, tafadhali njoni tusemezane. Naona hata ambao kwa comment section kabisa wenzako, wacha kutazama peke yako. Namba watazamaji, wacha tuzidi share the link. Sasa tuweze kuwa wengi kwa studio, tuweze kutazama wote ili tuweze kubenefit wote. Wacha kutazama peke yako. Karibisha mtu, wacha kuwa mchoyo. Wacha tutazame hii video ya mwaka mmoja sasa. Alafu tutatazama video ya leo.
I, William Samuel Ruto, on behalf of Kenya Kwanza Alliance, do hereby commit to actualize the 2/3 gender principle and to put in place mechanisms within the first 3 months of the Kenya Alliance government and ensure that this 2/3 gender principle is actualized immediately the mechanism is in place, and that it doesn't have to wait until the next general election. On leadership again, I commit on behalf of Kenya Kwanza Alliance that we shall allocate 50% of all cabinet positions to the women of Kenya. Additionally, I commit that we will ensure that the Public Service Commission, in all its recruitment, and all government agencies, commissions, parastatals, and other government agencies shall strictly observe the 2/3 gender rule. Economic empowerment.
President William Ruto has promised to work out a strategy to ensure that women stand an equal chance to sit at the highest decision-making table in the country. Speaking during the launch of the Women Governors Caucus G7 strategy in Nairobi, Ruto instructed UDA party chairperson Cecily Mbarire to ensure that the party has rules that would ensure that in future elections, a male presidential candidate fronted by the party has a woman as his running mate and vice versa. Safina Chengoma takes a look at this latest promise by the head of state and what it means for the political matrix in 2027.
It was during the launch of the Women Governors Caucus G7 strategy in Nairobi that President William Ruto sustained his commitment to ensure that the dream of achieving the elusive 2/3 gender rule in leadership is realized during his term in office.
It has been a back and forth for now over 10 years. I want to commit to the women of Kenya that this time round, we will make sure that the 2/3 gender rule is attained.
Amidst ululation from the women leaders, Ruto would make yet another promise, working out a strategy to ensure that women stand an equal chance to sit at the highest decision-making table in the country.
When Rigiji and myself tukifika hapo mbele na tumekubaliana vile itaenda, we must also agree that going forward, if a man is a candidate for president in our party, the woman must be the runner.
This promise, if fulfilled, could disrupt the 2027 political matrix, a supposed gentleman's agreement that will see Ruto's deputy Rigathi Gachagua become his successor when he exits power, a pact that is now in a state of limbo, all courtesy of President Ruto's latest remarks. The future elections start with the 2027 general election, which, if President Ruto decides to defend his seat and fulfills his promise to women to have a female running mate, it would mean that his current deputy may not be in the equation and not be the second in command in the next government and vice versa. But how soon is soon? Will the women of Kenya have to wait for President William Ruto, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, or any leader within Kenya Kwanza to finalize their political pact before the promise is delivered?
I know there is a lot of calculus and mathematics.
The promise also comes against the backdrop of several unfulfilled pledges to women by the current regime. Key among them is the commitment to ensure that 50% of his cabinet, among other appointive positions, would be reserved for women, which he made in June 2022, less than 2 months to the general election.
We shall allocate 50% of all cabinet positions to the women of Kenya.
But in forming his government, Ruto included only 7 out of 22 cabinet secretaries, 4 slots shy of what was promised during his campaigns to become the 5th president. The 7 include Land CS Alice Wahome, Gender CS Aisha Jumwa, Trade CS Rebecca Miano, Soipan Tuya of the Ministry of Environment, Penina Malonza of the Ministry of East African Community, Susan Nakumicha, the CS for Health, and Florence Bore, Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection.
And I want to ask women leaders, I know you may want higher numbers, but we can do it, we can do it progressively. Let us get what we think is attainable now. You guys know what you need to do. We can then take it to the next level, and then take it to the next level, and finally get it to 50-50.
Though snail-paced, the journey to equality for women in leadership seems to be gaining momentum, if the election of 7 women to head counties is anything to go by.
We will be, all of us, in New York in the next 2 weeks, fundraising for support and getting technical support as well for each of the counties, and also for the counties that have potential women leaders.
But I'd like to finally really thank you, not just for supporting the women and women leaders, because it's about the women at the grassroots. And the way you have moved to support the women at the grassroots, wale wadogo sana.
The launch of the Women Governors Caucus G7 strategy is just the beginning of the next phase of the transformational journey to ensure representation and inclusion of women in leadership in the 2027 general election and beyond. Safin Achieng Oma, Citizen TV.
Haya, Douglas, mambo ni kama hayo, na kama vile Bernard usema kama kawaida mambo ni kama hayo. Mimi nasema kama kawa na kama dawa. Anakaribisha nyote kwa moyo mkunjufu, njooni tusemezane, njooni tuongeleshane, njooni tujadili haya maswala tukaweze kuwa na matokeo yote pamoja. Watu ambao mnatazama comment section, wacheni kubaki pale, njooni mtuambie kama hii hali itakuwa ukweli. Mwaka uliopita zaidi ya mwaka mmoja ulioisha aliwaahidi sasa hiyo wakati kwa na campaign akaahidi kwamba kutakuwa kwa serikali yake kutakuwa na nusu wanawake nusu wanaume, 50%. Naona pale mtu ameshika kichwa tayari, na bado njooni tusemezane, njooni tuambiane. Link ipo kwa comment section. Wale mnatazama kwa Facebook, tumia hiyo link kujoin. Wale mnatazama kwa YouTube Sound Candy Talk Live, tumia link kujoin. Wale mnatazama kwa Sound Candy Talk Live, tumia kujoin. Watu wananiambia hawezi join, lakini wacha nawasaidia vile mtajoin kidogo. Watu wa X na watu wa wa M Bernard Ngozi nawasaidia vile mnajoin kiasi, tunawasaidia, but naomba tuweze kujadiliana, tuweze kusemezana. Douglas, wewe unaona vipi? Ataweka hii ahadi ama itakuwa kama ile ahadi ya mitungi ya gas, kwamba mtungi mtanunua gas shilingi 300 ikabadilika kuwa ni mtungi?
Unajua already kuna mtu kwa comment section amesema some women still believe him this time round. And it's funny that you're promising people, you're promising women that I don't know, it's not doable. Let me say it like that. I know maybe I'll offend some people. It's not doable. I think in America they just had their first female vice president after how many years? Like 200 years, and that is America. How about in Africa, where patriarchy is the order of the day, and we are very conservative about the roles of men in leadership and stuff? So it's going to take a very long time, and even in parliament we haven't been able to, to bring that 2/3 gender role thing into works, despite us creating special seats, 47 special seats for women in parliament in the name of women county women representatives, women reps, what we call women reps. So what makes you think that some of these things he's talking about is possible? It's just a classic case of a pathological liar telling people what they want to hear at that moment in time, then moving on with this life. Then the next time atasema something different. Angekuwa very serious na bringing women into, giving women leadership spaces. Angeanza na that cabinet, because his cabinet has only 22 people. I don't think it's hard to sort of find 11 women and finding 11 women and 11 men. That is the simplest. With other spaces kama parliament, it's quite difficult. because you have to work with the law, you have to find a formula because it's an elective position. How do you make sure that there are a third of that house is women, and it's a house that people are voting, and you can't force certain constituencies to vote for women so that you can realize that 2/3 gender rule. And hata na hiyo post ya deputy president, yes, it's his choice to make, but mi naona tu ni story zile zetu za mtaani za jaba. So I think it's just a lie, like as usual. I don't think it's going to do it. It's, if he was very serious, kwanza angeact on those promises. He launched a whole charter about women, and none of it happened. So I don't think he's going to do it. He's just telling women what he needs to hear, what they need to hear. And sometimes women pia lazima uambie kitu inawafanya wasikie fit.
So ni mama kuambia wewe mama wasikie fit.
Sometimes you have to make women feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he was doing. He was charming them. He was charming them.
Anafanya wa feel good.
Yeah, he was just charming them, and they were there clapping, and it's not doable. I don't think it's doable. I mean, the BBI, I think the BBI recommended the same thing. If the governor is male, the deputy governor has to be female. If the governor is female, then if the governor is female, then the deputy has to be male. But I didn't believe that that was doable. I mean, that's a very difficult policy to enact. And this issue of 2/3 equality, I always say equality. Okay, what is equality to you? The question of equality is equality, gender equality is quite difficult. It's no one is sure how we should approach it, because we have grown up in the era of empowering women, but while they were doing that, they sort of went overboard and sort of empowered them or disempowered males. So I think equality is giving people an open platform. But when you start giving people an advantage, then that is no longer equality. It's it's no longer equality. You are uplifting a certain people at the detriment of the other people. Now you are sort of taking from the people who are previously superior, and but I think equality is leveling the playground, and I think we've achieved that already, even though the numbers don't reflect those many. But I think now men and women can stand on the same platform and sell themselves. Then the people decide. But so I don't know how he's planning to do that, and I don't know where his current deputy president where he's going to go, but that's a conversation for later on in the show.
Well, before I go to I have a silly question in my mind, but before I ask the silly question, my people, those who are watching us on TikTok, we are live there on MC Shadizo. We didn't manage to go to Sound Candy Talk, but Bernard will be joining. But I hope we will be joining with Bernard one-on-one talk with Bernard on Sound Candy Talk TikTok. So people, our fans, TikTok fans, don't think we forget you. We have forgot about you. Our X people, we are live today on X. Please invite somebody to watch with. And those who are watching us, please join inside the studio so that we can discuss this out together. Join Semezan. This is an open forum, so we need to discuss everyone. Kila mzee sio ati mimi peke yangu ama niwe peke yetu. Those who are watching us from TikTok, please remember to tap the screen and also send the roses and also get the gift as we continue discussing on our political open forum tonight. And others will be joining us. So people, TikTok people, I know you're feeling like to join, but if you want to join, go us on Sound Candy Talk Live and then click the link. It's on the Sound Candy Talk Live comment section on our video today, and you will join inside the studio so that we can discuss together and be part and parcel of this as we continue to rolling down. So that's how we will work for today. But tomorrow I'll pin the link for you tomorrow so that you can be part and parcel of this. So I welcome you all, people. Please, those are number are watching, they are still low. Please invite somebody to watch me so that we can be at the same par. Invite somebody. Use the link to join inside the studio so that we can discuss this together and we can have a clear conversation together. You have said that you speak about something about the gender equalism, but the truth is, in most of the cases, gender equalism is still low so much. More so when it's come to kind like US, they are favored women and children so much than even men. But when you come like gender equality, you normally say that you need the political to be gender equality. But when it comes like for something like matters like abuse, you don't look at more so at gender equality. You feel like when a man is being mistreated with a woman, we don't feel like that is harassment. But the moment a man just touching a woman without his consent, we claim it like embarrassment. Whether he didn't have a bad intention towards that lady, we call it embarrassment. But we still want the gender equality to come across inside the parliament. How can it come across inside the parliament while the simplest one, the nature one, we are able to know to address it?
What we have created as of now, I'm talking about what our generation grew up with, because we grew up in a generation where the girl child was really empowered, to a point where I'm talking about, equality is just like I've said, equality is leveling the playground so that everyone can participate equally. But when you create a situation where you're sort of favoring someone, you're sort of favoring someone, then that is no longer equality. You're just sort of, this person was up there, now it's the turn for this other person to be up there. I think that's the situation that we created. Only one thing, right now, if a 17-year-old, a 16-year-old and a 16-year-old, a 16-year-old girl and a 16-year-old boy in our country, they start to engage in sex, sexual intercourse, and the girl gets pregnant, and they go to court. The boy will end up being sentenced, and that's a fact. It's happening in our society. But legally, they are all minors, they're all children. But the boy will be accused of defiling the girl. Why? I mean, that is unfair. Why should it happen that way? It's because the law that is there today, the society that is there today, sort of, favors the girl child over the boy child. That's why we have all these talks. That's why we created 47 seats just for women. And along the way, someone complained that it's just they're sort of just flower girls. It's a special office, and now they feel, and now there were some women feeling like when I give you an advantage, you will sort of feel like I'm looking down on you. That's why I'm giving you a way out, an easy way out. So there are women feeling like that's just just a role, a flower girl role, and that does not contribute to the whole gender equality agenda. So yeah.
Wow, that's great. We see the society growing up, the mind of the people. They know that they this day we will try to bring that there's no gender equality, or that there's no that difference between men and women. But we do see you have just stated clearly that our society we still in just that mind whereby we know that there are responsibility for a woman, there are responsibility for a man. But that's what we see it by the. Also, it supplies everywhere.
It depends on what you believe in. I personally believe that I believe in gender roles. I believe men and women are different. I believe men and equality does not mean same. That's what our society needs to realize. When women start to be men, then we lose those special qualities that make them women that we need in our society. and that is wrong. Equality does not mean same. Equality just means that you come with what is unique to you and I come with what is unique to me. Then, we bring it to the table and we make, and everybody contributes with whatever they're bringing to the table. But when some people start to feel like I need to be like you so that I'm accepted, or I need to be like you so that I feel seen, then that is no longer equality.
Okay. Thank for those who are watching. Please invite somebody to watch with, and don't just be alone. Please, people, there's some people watching alone. That's not fair at all. I just go for a commercial break, but we'll be right back. Please don't just watch alone. Watch with somebody and invite somebody to be part and parcel of this as we discuss this political open forum tonight.
Tunaingia vijijini, mijini na hata jijini kukuletea taarifa mchana kutwa. Usiku tunakaa kitako, tunadadavua tukichanganua taarifa na makala muhimu yanayokuhusu wewe na familia yako.
Nasikia watu wanasema baba ametusaliti. Between baba kutusaliti na sisi kusaliti baba, nani amesaliti mwingine?
Inapeangwa, it mostly goes to foreign ministries. So Baba is overqualified for that position.
To build this railways for Africa. So now he's thinking about tumemkataa kama baba wetu.
Unaweza kuwa kuna mtoto ulizaa ukapatia nchi ikuwa inamfanya vile inataka.
Uhuru has been working very hard. Ruto akaenda huko na nguvu. Ruto was never invited in the inauguration.
Ungana na Bernard Ngozi kwenye Open Forum Political Show kuanzia saa 4 usiku hadi dakika zake kila siku ya wiki kwenye Soundcard Talk.
Open Forum Political Discussion Show. The show that gives you an opportunity to air what you feel and think about the latest development.
Tukutane Soundcard Talk. Soundcard Talk sasa imeboreshwa zaidi. Kila siku ya wiki asubuhi tunapambazuka na maabudu na sifa kwenye kipindi cha. Baadaye tunakuletea mahojiano ya moja kwa moja kwenye one-on-one show.
Kwanza nianze kwa mtazamo kwamba umeona vile hali ilivyo.
The age that we are living in, so many things are happening.
Alafu nakuletea taarifa zinazochipuka siku hiyo zikiwa ange kwenye In the News Headlines. Kisha tunaingia bungeni kutazama wabunge na kusikiliza tuliowaleta kupeleka bungeni iwapo iko imara.
Mr. Speaker,
they should not be given an opportunity to be in those committees.
Who told the people to close the business?
Kisha baadaye usiku kuinaangana kwenye udadavusi kamili. Open Forum Political Show.
Open Forum Political Discussion Show.
Fanya akitujue tumepata the right person.
In churches, in funerals, come up and say, oh, it's our turn.
Sasa Soundcard Talk imekamilika.
Thank you and welcome back as we continue discussing on our topic tonight. And our topic tonight says that Raila's leadership transition and Ruto female running mate hints. So also this reminds me of our poll question tonight. And our poll question tonight is very, very simple. It's just you say yes or no. Do you think Paranya and Joho are up to the task of leading OGM? Yes or no? I see 67% says yes and 33% says no. Please, let us continue voting. Let us continue liking the video. Soundcard Talk people, we didn't like the video. We are still low. Boss lady, let us like the video. Let us like the video, please. Those who are watching us on Soundcard Talk, let us like the video. Let us like the video. Let us like the video. Let us like the video, please. And also let us see on the other channel, on our Soundcard Talk channel. 67 says yes and 30 says no. Please, those who are watching us on Soundcard Talk, please like the video. The likes are still low, and people who have voted. So that we are not doing justice at all. Mukenya Mkoro, please click like the video, like the video. Hata kama unachongoa Douglas, please like the video. Wow, mtu anasema mama ni viumbe dhaifu. Let me see Mukenya Mkoro anasema nini. Thank you for those who are watching. Please invite somebody to watch with. Tusibaki hapa peke yetu, tunashindwa kujadiliana, tunahitaji pia na wewe tujadiliane na wote pamoja na wewe. ili tuweze kuja kwa conclusion ambayo ni sahihi. Tafadhali join kwa studio, join tusemezane, join tuambiane, join tujue tunasaidiana vipi. Ruto anasema kwamba ameamua kwamba atafanya kila kukuwa na 50%. Sasa nikuulize, kama kutakuwa na 50%, watatumia criteria gani ndio kuamua kwa 50%? Kama kila mtu ambaye ana naibu wako anakuwa mwanamke, alafu wanawake pia kuna women rep, ama kutakuwa na men rep ndio mkwe 50%. Hapo mmoja nieleza, kwa sababu already mko na wanawake 41 ambao wamepewa chance, ambapo ya wanaume hamuna. Wanaume hamuna hiyo priority ya 40% nini na nini. Anyway, wamama siwashambuliko baya. Mimi nawapenda wamama. Nyinyi watu wazuri. Hata mama Nene alisema nyinyi watu wazuri. Nyinyi watu ambao mnasaidia Kenya kusonga mbele. How do you think? Ama hii promise itakuwa tu ya ile kutopea watu wengi? Unaona comment section inasema that hii promises ni ya uongo. Mkenya mkona anasema utakulwa na wamama.
Kuna gani?
Mimi sijui, au amekucheka, but the thing is I like with mama. The thing is I'm not having the problem with the mama coming to government, the mamas coming to government.
Yeah, true.
But what I'm asking, will it be true? Because in last 2 years, this thing hasn't come to pass. So now if this thing is being revisited on, will it come to pass? Or ama ni ile tu story tunapewa mama kwa motivate? Unaona mpaka unasema wamama wanamotivatiwa mpaka at least ante mkayamkwana anasema wamama will kill you, wamama will love you.
Okay, Ruto is promising something, first of all, that he can't deliver. That's one. Because even Uhuru was unable to deliver on the truth. Uhuru himself was unable to deliver on the truth that's gender role. And Uhuru was very pro-women. Uhuru was very supportive of, women and women leadership. Way more than Ruto. If you can remember his time. So Ruto is promising something that he can't deliver. And I'm not, actually, women are very good with leadership. But as I've said, I believe that women and men are different in certain ways. And there are situations that women can do better than men. For instance, how many male nurses have you ever been attended by in the hospital?
In hospital, like I can say like the whole my lifetime, I think 2 or 3.
Yeah, you see. So that is a career that is women can do better than men. And okay, I'm not just talking about nursing. There are other careers that women can do. For instance, customer service, of course, women can do better in those roles. And there are roles in government where women can do better. And there are roles in society that men do better than females. That's why they are saturated with men. For instance, in mechanics, you're likely to find more men than women. Even if you created what sort of gender equality, it's going to be very difficult to create a 50-50 in mechanics. It's the same with politics. Politics is a career that calls for a lot of egotism and a lot of darks and politics. That's why we have a lot of men doing better in politics. So I don't know how Ruto is planning to deliver on that, but I've said the role of CS was in the 2010 constitution. We preserved that mostly for technocrats. So if we really intended to create a 50-50, that could be the easiest arena to deliver on that promise, because it's only 22 seats. It's only picking 11 women, but he was unable to deliver on that. So I don't think he's able to deliver on politics, creating, whatever he's talking about in politics. If he was unable to deliver that in his cabinet. But I see Lala is finally back. I don't know if...
Okay, let me listen to Lala. Lala is good. Lala, I'm happy to see you back. I don't know what's the problem, but I'm happy to see you back. What do you feel about the story about Ruto promising the women that will give them, it'll make the government to be 50-50, where men 50 and also women 50%?
And what
okay, sorry guys, between here and also doing something else. So that's why I've been in and out. I wish I was there to listen to all the conversation that have been going on. But at any given time, to me, male and female are like a jet, a plane. You got two engines, both of them are important, so they got to work together. Whenever one side is not given a chance, the other side suffers very badly. So I don't know who is better than the other on different kind aspect of the job, but there's certain jobs that women tend to do better because of their makeup, their sensitivity. For example, women carry the 9-month, baby to birth. So there's certain aspect of ourselves that really connect with certain needs within society. They're able to understand what poverty is. They're able to understand what lack and ugomvi hizo vitu kama hizo, manake they are wired that way. Men tend to be more planners, long-range thinkers. So in terms of thinking and planning, maybe the such jobs may be better suited for them. But in general, it depends on what we have been trained. I mentioned something what called process leadership. Okay, all of us can master our part well, and Kenyan problem has been one, and that is corruption. It doesn't matter how much you endued with all kinds of gift abilities. If people are corrupt, nothing will work. Nothing will work. And so if we want to maximize this gift that God has given us in women and men, then we must fight corruption. We must obey something called the Constitution. We may talk and talk about what we want, doesn't want, but if he's going to be corrupt the way he has been corrupt with the kind of people around him, I mean, is sad, because we will go nowhere. We will make a leap, and then all of a sudden everything is falling apart because of that thing called corruption. So to me, nothing is going to work, whether it's women or men, if you don't curb corruption and create some kind of order and look at leadership in terms of abilities and support of those abilities and those gifts. That's the only way for us to kind of make it. So thinking of women stepping forward, I think is a great idea. I think women have been relegated for a long time, wild women, to a place where their job is to raise kids, and if they do better, they become nurses. They can do certain things, but I think now they are proving to us that we have been wrong. Some of the reason why we are not done well is because we did not allow that gift that we have in women. They can do anything a man can do, and even do better. So let's look at them as equal in functions, equal in many things. Yes, there's some things that we don't want to give a woman, if it to do with maybe carrying weight and all that stuff. Some of them will do better, but on the larger scale, I think that's not their area of interest. But if they want to do it, who are we to stop them? So to me, women should step forward. But at the end of the day, it's the corruption. And that's why I think if you saw, I think I posted something on Haiti, because I don't think Kenyans are educated enough about the corruption that we have, what people perceive of Kenya. I wish whenever you make the transition, play that, first of all, there's a conversation between us, one of the leaders in Haiti, that Bernard and I put on three-way talk, and I think, Shadizo, you're supposed to play that, what they think about Kenya in Haiti. And then there's another video clip that is there that I think I posted it there, that will help us open Kenya's eyes to know exactly what's going on, because dynamics on the ground are changing very, very fast. And Kenyans must be educated, because there are a lot of people out there thinking that we are doing the right thing or we will succeed. But based on what is going on, I think we are in for a rude awakening. So me stop and hear what you guys say. But women, more power to them.
Okay, let us watch this and then you tell me. What do you feel about 2027 about Rigiji? Do you feel like it's being removed out of the seat or?
Yes, now that Lala is pro.
When you ask my opinion about
Ruto,
Rigiji, Rigiji to me is not qualified. He shouldn't even be talking. I don't even really give them much of my hearing. I respect that they are there, but the fact that they got in there wrong way, I don't respect them. I don't really listen to them. I'm sorry to say that with this Ruto too. So, but I gotta be, be a gentleman and try to accept what's really going on. But deep down in me, no, because it's not theologically correct for me. I think it's wrong. I think they're wrong people. I think it's a sad story. If I didn't know, but the fact that I know what they did, no. To me, it's just the country has to function, okay? But those guys should not be there.
Okay, let us watch this.
Ni kwamba Rais William Ruto ameahidi kuweka mikakati ya kuhakikisha kuwa usawa wa thuluthi mbili wa uwakilishi wa jinsia umeafikiwa katika nafasi ya uongozi chini ya serikali yake. Rais Ruto aliyehutubia mkutano wa uzinduzi wa mikakati ya kundi la wanawake magavana la G7 hapa Nairobi amemtaka mwenyekiti wa chama cha UDA Cecily Mbarire kubuni sheria zitakazofanikisha mgombea urais wa kiume kuwa na mgombea mwenza wa kike. Ahadi inaonekana kuwa huenda ikabadilisha baadhi ya maagano ya kisiasa katika uchaguzi mkuu ujao wa mwaka 2027.
When Rigiji and myself tukifika hapo mbele na tumepangana, tumekubaliana vile itaenda, we must also agree that going forward, if a man is a candidate for president in our party, the woman must be the runner. And if a woman is the candidate, then a man can be a running mate. Okay?
I think Ruto is good on a microphone. We give you the microphone, he says things that people want to hear, and so those are just gimmicks. I don't think it will happen over there, but they can do anything to get them what they're looking for, but not because he believes so strongly in the abilities of women. If there's an example, Baba has got a better credential than him. So I don't even know what he's done with women to make us believe that if they're going to be there, it's going to be somebody to control. So it is the history of the team that we have in power now does not speak well for women. But the talk is good, it's good to have women playing an important role in our society. But clearly, if someone does not believe in democracy, if somebody doesn't respect the rule of law, that is their own thing. Do they really believe in a democratic process, growth of people, economies, and all that? I don't think so. I think this is about a man full of himself. That's who Ruto is full of himself. And so anything that would help him get votes, just like what he did, the promises he gave, Bishop, he's talking like this because I think the bishop is crying. I don't know whether he spoke that today. These goons went there and beat up the bishop, a woman. So he's talking So anyone listening to him seriously I think is sick also. I think we could hear him, but to believe him, to trust him, I think it's a mistake by Kenyan. And I think that's how we're going to go down the tube. For us, even somebody to go out there and vote for Ruto when I actually stole the election. To me, that is key. You steal an election? No, I will not respect you, because any democracy, that is number one. Democracy depends on demo, the people, the voice of those mamambogas and others. And if you subdue those voices, you don't listen to those people, then what democracy are you bringing to us? And to me, it begins with the vote. That thing called election. If somebody steals it, that's the worst person to let continue ruling the country. So I don't respect Ruto. Based on that, I choose not to. Thank you.
Thank you, Lala. Let me welcome Mama Kenya Manamano Camila. How are you, Mom?
Hi, Shadizo. Hi, everybody. Hi, Lala. Hi, comment section wa Kenya pahali popote mko. Nahisi mko salama, lakini mnajionea vile mambo inaendelea kati ya watu wa Kenya na mambo mingi ambayo imetokea. Mimi niko salama. I've been very, very busy. Even right now, I might talk for a short time, then I'll be off, but I'll be listening. Mimi niliona hiyo kipindi cha huyo mama, huyo bishop, nikashindwa, kwani Mungu wake amelala? Yule walikuwa wanaongea habari yake. And my question is not just because of her, but because of how these people had portrayed so many things that never materialized. Mambo ambayo kweli kabisa ni ya aibu kabisa. And I see that lady on the podium talking very strongly when she was talking those days when they were fighting for this irrelevant government. But I'm shocked to see now she's crying, having heartaches of her acts. Hiyo ni tabia yake. Kwa hivyo ukihisi mabaya utayapata, ukitaka mazuri utayapata. Kwa hivyo walijua kabisa hii ni mambo ya uongo wanatumia, na akaongea akiwa na nguvu sana, akihimiza watu kwamba sasa wanaelekea kupata mtu ambaye ni mtu mashuhuri, mtu hana kiburi, mtu hana ukabila, and all this is the opposite of what we have right now. And they knew all this. They were just doing politics. Lakini nikauliza jambo moja kwa huyu mama. She preaches about the word of God. How did she come to get to this point of feeling that yeye sasa ako kwa politics na ako kwa Mungu? You can mix those two things, because politics is a dirty game. Lakini mambo ya Mungu tofauti kabisa. Ni mambo ambayo inatakiwa kuchukuliwa kwa heshima na kwa uaminifu. Kwa sababu ile yote unatenda inawekwa pahali ambapo utayajibu kivyako. But about politics, vua hiyo nguo ya Ukristo uweke kando kwanza. Ufanye politics, ukimaliza urudi kwa kazi ya Mungu. This lady was carrying both dresses. She was wearing both dresses at the same time. Huwezi kuwa na njia mbili. Lazima moja itaharibika. Huwezi pika nyungu mbili, moja itaungua. So for her to come crying to people who can sympathize with her, with all this rhetoric that she had during that time, she was hectic. I can't believe. Now I would like her to see those videos of how she was behaving there before, so that she can blame herself, not even the jambazi, not even that Ruto. She should blame herself. Sababu mimi kama nataka kuishi maisha mazuri, lazima niwe mtu mkweli, lazima niongee mambo ambayo ni ya amani, mambo ambayo haitanidhuru baadaye. Na unajua mambo ya kweli kila siku haitakudhuru. Believe me, anytime you talk the truth and you stand with it because it is true, it will never shame you even one time. Sasa walikula kiapo cha kufanya kazi mbili ndio waweze kutetea huyu mtu ambaye anawaragai right now, lakini wanamuona mbaya na ni wao walimweka akawa na hiyo nguvu, kwa sababu huyo mama kama angeongea mambo ya kweli na ile anasimamia mambo ya Mungu, sababu sisi tunajua mambo ya Mungu ni ya kweli. It's not a matter of here and there. It is one-way traffic, very straight. And we have been told many times, truth will set you free. And that is what it is. So, ninaposikia mnaongea habari ya huyo mama, nikimwangalia na nikiona hizo video zote, hakuna time ama wakati mnatakiwa kuwa mnamhisi ama kumhurumia hata kidogo. Mimi, I believe in God and I believe in good things, but there are times unasema mwiba wa kujidunga, wacha mwenyewe ausikie uchungu. Lakini ni yeye alijifanyia, kwa hivyo uchungu ni wa nini? Aendelee na machungu yake, ajue vile atajiponya, ajue vile ataepuka, ajue vile mambo yake itakuwa mazuri, asije kuletea watu hizo conference anafanya huko. In fact, even she is dispersing herself, exposing herself to so many who might have not heard her when she was making all this proud of talking very strong on the podium, convincing people to accept this guy who is really punishing and torturing Kenyans. So for her, let her continue with the pain and suffering, and for the next time, she may think twice and know that human beings are human beings. Anytime they can change and become like an animal. And that is what has happened to Kenyans right now, because I believe Kenyans are really suffering because of what happened due to these people who had knowledge. Alisema vizuri sana, ati Ruto ni mtu ambaye ni mwaminifu, mtu mzuri, tumeishi na yeye, tumekuwa na yeye, kwa hivyo sisi tunajua ni mtu mzuri. Basi, that is exactly what you should not even coming to the podium or to the camera to tell us that he has made you feel miserable or he has demolished your church or whatever. No, you should stay away. Eat your food that you cooked for yourself. However bitter it is, you keep quiet na ukae nyumbani. Usije kulilia wananchi. Uliwapotosha na ukapotelea hapo hata wewe. Ulikuwa unafikiri ni mchezo unacheza, nao umechezwa. Na huo uchungu utakuwa nao milele. Hiyo hata isahau. It will be all the time with her. Sababu hiyo ni mambo amejitafutilia. Ni wengi sana wamefanya hivyo Kenya. Wameenda wakachanganya watu, wakaonyesha ni nini ile tabu sasa wanaendea. Wanataka kusema Wakenya ndio waliwaonyesha waingie huko. They made the decision to be where they are. And what they have done, they will never forget. And they will never be forgiven. Because right now what Kenyans are going through, the pain and suffering and all these frustrations, depression, is because of those few people who decided to be cunning and people who did not think like human beings. They thought of themselves and how they can only benefit themselves. That's my words and that is my take. Kwa hivyo, Wanjiro, beba mzigo wako kama ulivyo ubeba hata siku hizo zingine ulikuwa unafanya hizo campaign. Mambo yale yote ulifanya sasa yakumbuke. Utubu kwa sababu you need to repent. You have done a big mess to Kenyans. Na hata wale wafuasi wako umewakosea Kwa hivyo usije kutuambia sisi the time you are crying to get this man to this seat, you would not have liked anybody opposing your decision. Now you want our support? No way. So fight your own fight until the last minute. Mimi nitasimamia hapo nikiwa na huzuni sana, kwa sababu huyo mama ile tabu anaendea na uchungu anaendea. In fact, if she stood like a Christian person and do the right thing and a truthful person, because that is what we expect from those who are leaders of Christianity or churches or whatever. We need truth, and you can be the model. If you did that, I don't think she'll be suffering. I think whatever will be done to her, towards her, now her guilt is that it's too much than if she stood with the truth. And so it will pain her for a long time. For a long time, she'll never forget, and she will not recover this. This is an event that will never be overtaken by any other event. Kwa hivyo ajue hiyo yote ni amejiletea, na akaletea wananchi wengine wa Kenya ambao aliwaonyesha wafanye biashara za aina hiyo. Asanteni sana kwa kunisikiza. Thank you very much for this opportunity, na ninaombea wa Kenya musimame na muombe Mungu awape nguvu, tupiganie nchi yetu, kwa sababu mimi have never given up about my country, but I'll be forced to give up if only I'm killed. That is the only point. And I stand with my beloved country, which I love. Thank you so much. Asanteni kwa kunisikiliza. Thank you so
Mama.
much. Yes.
Thank you, Mama. Kenya Maandamano Kamili. I appreciate it for that submission. Indeed, it's great and shows the reality of the thing. But I feel like the pastors are the one that who not even me, just one you alone. Most of the pastors are the one who brought us in this ditch. Well, now they've been praying against it, but I feel like they are one bringing us to this ditch because they followed the promises. And now you find the promises that he promised the women that during the campaign. I played the video here that they will be having a 50% of the women inside the cabinet. I think like we have the video, we can play it. He promised the women to have the 50% inside the cabinet. But when the cabinet was launched, there was not 50%.
I, William Samoei Ruto, on behalf of Kenya Kwanza Alliance, do hereby commit to actualize the 2/3 gender principle and to put in place mechanisms within the first 3 months of the Kenya Alliance government and ensure that this 2/3 gender principle is actualized immediately the mechanism is in place, and that it doesn't have to wait until the next general election. On leadership again, I commit on behalf of Kenya Kwanza Alliance that we shall allocate 50% of all cabinet positions to the women of Kenya.
President William Ruto has promised to work out a strategy to ensure that women stand an equal chance to sit at the highest decision-making table in the country. Speaking during the launch of the Women Governors Caucus G7 strategy in Nairobi, Ruto instructed UDA party chairperson Cecily Mbarire to ensure that the party has rules that would ensure that in future elections a male presidential candidate fronted by the party has a woman as his running mate and vice versa. Safina Chengoma takes a look at this latest promise by the head of state and what it means for the political matrix in 2027.
It was during the launch of the Women Governors Caucus G7 strategy in Nairobi that President William Ruto sustained his commitment to ensure that the dream of achieving the elusive 2/3 gender rule in leadership is realized during his term in office.
It has been a back and forth for now over 10 years. I want to commit to the women of Kenya that this time round, we will make sure that the 2/3 gender rule is attained.
Amidst ululation from the women leaders, Ruto would make yet another promise, working out a strategy to ensure that women stand an equal chance to sit at the highest decision-making table in the country.
When Rigiji and myself tukifika hapo mbele na tumepangana, tumekubaliana vile itaenda, we must also agree that going forward, if a man is a candidate for president in our party, the woman must be the runner.
This promise, if fulfilled, could disrupt the 2027 political matrix, a supposed gentleman's agreement that will see Ruto's deputy Rigathi Gachagua become his successor when he exits power, a pact that is now in a state of limbo, all courtesy of President Ruto's latest remarks. The future elections start with the 2027 general election, which, if President Ruto decides to defend his seat and fulfills his promise to women to have a female running mate, it would mean that his current deputy may not be in the equation and not be the second in command in the next government and vice versa. But how soon is soon? Will the women of Kenya have to wait for President William Ruto, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, or any leader within Kenya Kwanza to finalize their political pact before the promise is delivered?
I know there is a lot of calculus and mathematics.
The promise also comes against the backdrop of several unfulfilled pledges to women by the current regime. Key among them is the commitment to ensure that 50% of his cabinet, among other appointive positions, would be reserved for women, which he made in June 2022, less than 2 months to the general election.
We shall allocate 50% of all cabinet positions to the women of Kenya.
But in forming his government, Ruto included only 7 out of 22 cabinet secretaries, 4 slots shy of what was promised during his campaigns to become the 5th president. The 7 include Land CS Alice Wahome, Gender CS Aisha Jumwa, Trade CS Rebecca Miano, Soipan Tuya of the Ministry of Environment, Penina Malonza of the Ministry of East African Community, Susan Nakumicha, the CS for Health, and Florence Bore, Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection.
And I want to ask women leaders, I know you may want higher numbers, but we can do it, we can do it progressively. Let us get what we think is attainable now. You guys know what you need to do. We can then take it to the next level, and then take it to the next level, and finally get it to 50-50.
Though snail-paced, the journey to equality for women in leadership seems to be gaining momentum. If the election of 7 women to head counties is anything to go by.
We will be, all of us, in New York in the next 2 weeks, fundraising for support and getting technical support as well for each of the counties and also for the counties that have potential women leaders.
But I'd like to finally really thank you, not just for supporting the women and women leaders, because it's about the women at the grassroots. And the way you have moved to support the women at the grassroots, wale wadogo sana.
The launch of the Women Governors Caucus G7 strategy is just the beginning of the next phase of the transformational journey to ensure representation and inclusion of women in leadership in the 2027 general election and beyond. Safin Achieng Oma, Citizen TV.
Lala, I've seen, and I hope now we are the same pa, Lala. You have seen now. My question is, which seat will you give Rigiji in 27? If you are saying that if I'm vying for the president, I should have a lady who is my vice president. So where are we taking Rigiji? Please help me to understand.
First of all, Ruto already has already made a promise to Ruto, as I was saying, already, yeah, he's making all these promises, but he already has a promise with Rigiji. We need to remember that he promised, after all the frustration he went through as deputy president, he promised that whoever becomes his deputy president, he is not going to, to frustrate him or throw him under the bus. So he already owes Rigiji that promise. So I don't think he means 2027, even if he intends to keep that promise. It's a suggestion, I could say, that Cecily Mbarire creates that law within the party, but I don't think he intends to keep it with the next election. I think he intends, maybe if it goes, I think that is for 2032 after he's gone, and whoever is going to take it after him will have to keep that. But I don't think that applies to him. I don't think he's going to.
But we see tonight the discussion has been going on tonight, and people are saying that this thing they feel like it will disrupt some agreements. So if you feel like it disrupts some agreement, and you're still saying that it won't apply very soon, as soon as possible, for example, like the next election, what do you feel? And unasikia mwenyewe anasema the president himself anasema kwamba we have talked with Rigiji.
No, he's saying that we are going to agree.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that is placing it in the future. We are going to kifika pale mbele, tutaelewana na Rigiji. I don't know exactly what it means, but I think it's just a classic case of a pathological liar telling its audience what they want to hear at that moment in time, and then moving on to other things. Because after that, actually, for those who don't know what happened today, he went to Safari Park, I think at mid-morning. After he left Safari Park, he went back to State House to chair the cabinet meeting, and there are pictures with him with Rigiji walking into that cabinet meeting. So I think he just said what those women needed to hear, and they cheered on, and he got into his car and went back to State House to say hi to Rigiji. So I don't think he's going to throw Rigiji anywhere to pick a woman, because if he really wanted a woman, by the way, Azimio, I think they were trying to sabotage his campaign by telling people that we care about women. Actually, we've chosen a woman running mate, but the other guys in Kenya Kwanza, those guys don't care about women. But he still remained resilient and picked Rigiji because he understands the landscape of Kenyan politics right now. Because I'm telling you, Africa is a very patriarch society, and some of these things he's talking about, they're going to take some time to be realized. I think what women need to embrace reality and appreciate the fact that yes, women representation is growing, but it's going to be gradual. They need to be realistic about that fact. It's not just going to be spontaneous.
Boom.
Yeah, one day we wake up and we have 20 female governors. No. In 2017, I think in 2013, we had no female governor, if I'm not wrong. In 2013, we had 3. 2017, we had 3. Then now we have 7. Maybe next time we'll have 10 or 11. It's going to be gradual. It's not going to be instant like that. This is Africa, man. Yeah. But let's talk to Lala.
Okay.
Lala, I have a question for him before you ask yours. I want to know, does this 2/3 gender rule, is it there in the US? And if it is, have they attained it in the Congress? I mean, just explain that to me. But go on and pause here.
In the US, there is nothing like that. What it is, there's what they call the minority, set aside. It can be a group of people like the Indians, minority, women, and they're all lumped together. And this is to help, like in business loans, things like that. When it comes to elective politics, there is nothing like that. You go out and compete. The assumption is that we have come to a point where all of us should be able to recognize the candidate, you know, and you know what they can do and who they are. And so we can only benefit on an economic side, financial side, if you can prove that you are a minority. And minority can cover a lot of things. For example, in the US, if you're a left-handed person, you can get scholarship because you are different from the other group, you know. So there's a lot of, you know, a lot of different bodies that try to equalize, you know, everyone. And so we don't have that. If you a woman, you're running, or of course of a selected person, you can let people know that you come from a minority and use that as a platform to appeal to other people to see why you should be elected, and you fight, you know, for yourself. You fight for that community, and so they see you as the person they will champion their interest, and that's the way it's handled here. Kenya is in the constitution, I think that's the whole idea, which we don't really have here in the US. And so in Kenya, because of the nature of our society, where women are being, so this is an attempt to be able to bring them up, but maybe a time will come when that would not be necessary. But for the time being, I think it's necessary because of the way things are. To just talking about Ruto, and it's, to me, even for us to start discussing what Ruto promised, what is going to keep, it's really a waste of time when you think about it, but we have to talk about it anyway. Because my idea about this channel is for us to talk about ideological issues, you know, truth and facts and reality. Think that ideals rather than a personality all the time talking about what this man is going to do, what's going to do. This man has proven to be a liar, and he'll do anything to get what he wants. So when we're discussing about what I think is important that we're talking about, I think Douglas talked about how women, you know, position progressively should get better. I don't think that's in the mind of Ruto. Ruto is what works for me. It is the moment. So our discussion here to try to predict what he's going to do, not going to do, we know exactly what he's going to do. He's going to do what works for him. If you look at taking our people to Haiti, the fact is out there. Any of his officials should have actually gone and looked at what's really going on. This was a U.S. mess that they wanted somebody to be sucked into, and Ruto just walked into that kind of a trap because probably he has people like you know, Kenyans who will not ask questions. They'll believe him when he tells them, "I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this," when he's not doing any of that. But Kenyans will still just sit here, listen to this guy, and probably maybe even vote for him. Yeah. In other words, as long as Ruto changes my economic status a little bit, and then Kenya get jobs, that's all they're looking for. They're not looking for truth, justice, and all that. They're not. Look at people like Margaret. All of a sudden, she's crying. How about when our people are getting shot on the street? Where was she? Okay. What was she saying? They knew that election was stolen, things were not right, corruption is rampant. They knew all these things, but then all of a sudden now God is being invoked, the name of God, you know. Now things are different. And this is the hypocrisy that governs our land. And that's why I think a channel like this one is a place where we go above. We raise the discourse. We talk about ideologies. We talk about ethics, things that will allow our country to survive. And so when Ruto come with this idea of women, all of a sudden, when we know he didn't support even the truth, the rule of law, he doesn't support the constitution, then it's very selfish of him. So back on the conversation for women, it's nice that women are organizing themselves and looking at the future politics, and let's empower them, let's support them, but let them not allow people like Ruto to get into their mind, into their conversation, because it's not good for them. Let them talk and strategize, and let us support them, because we know what women can do. I'm so proud of my governor. She's a woman, Wanga, Gladys, and implementing things that I'd envisioned, talked about some few years back. Palm oil, look at how much we are importing into the country. And she's now beginning to, I think in Migori, they're trying to create, that industry in Kenya. And there's no industrialization without palm oil, palm wine, what do I call it, palm oil. And these are things that we don't even think about. And this woman is already in the forefront doing, what the country needs. So women are actually the secret weapon that will help us. So empowering them is great for our nation. So let me stop there, and back to you, Douglas or Shadida.
Thank you, Lala, for that submission. Did people who are watching, please invite somebody to watch with us. We roll up this segment, our last segment part, as we continue discussing this tonight. Please, if you are joining, please joining. Usingoja wakati tunafungasha ndio unakuja unataka kuanza kusema ngojeni kwanza. Please join us early as this, so that we can discuss together and we can come to a conclusion together. Tuache ngojea awamu ya mwisho ndo tuanze kuingia hapo. Yes, Lala.
I really wanted you to play the link that I sent to you. This is on Haiti. I think it's a dimension that has not been explored here, especially the US and the mess that is there. Did you play it already?
No, but it will go out of the topic. The YouTube will bring the problems.
I think we can tie into the topic, because women won't do that. Women, that's part of man's ego, to do things and put us into things that they shouldn't. Because when we talk about conflict at home, street fights and all that, women don't like that. And exactly these are the things that women would provide leadership that will not put us in danger. So we're talking about women. So I think that falls into, when we play that will actually give us a good conversation. Thank you.
Tunaingia vijijini, mijini na hata jijini kukuletea taarifa mchana kutwa. Usiku tunakaa kitako, tunadadavua tukichanganua taarifa na makala muhimu yanayokuhusu wewe na familia yako.
Nasikia watu wanasema baba ametusaliti. Between baba kutusaliti na sisi kusaliti baba, nani amesaliti mwingine?
Inapeangwa, it mostly goes to foreign ministries. So Baba is overqualified for that position.
To build this railways for Africa. So now he's thinking about tumemkataa kama baba wetu.
Unaweza kuwa kuna mtoto ulizaa ukapatia nchi ikuwe inamfanya vile inataka.
Uhuru has been working very hard. Ruto akaenda huko na nguvu. Ruto was never invited in the inauguration.
Ungana na Bernard Ngozi kwenye Open Forum Political Show kuanzia saa 4 usiku hadi dakika zake kila siku ya wiki kwenye Sound Card Talk.
Open Forum Political Discussion Show the show that gives you an opportunity to air what you feel and think about the latest development.
Tukutane Sound Candy Talk.
Okay, thank you and welcome back. This Sound Candy Talk. As we coming to conclusion, please, I invite you, don't just watch alone, invite somebody to watch with as we continue tonight and as we continuing to wrapping up. But I think we are good there. And before we close up, I want Douglas to, we'll play one video and then we will speak over it so that we can know more just what Douglas will help us to understand about it.
Kuna kwamba Rais William Ruto ameahidi kuweka mikakati ya kuhakikisha.
Now, speculation continues to mount over the state of relations between President William Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua, with claims that Gachagua's government shareholding narrative is not sitting well with State House. In what has been interpreted as the telling off of his deputy, President Ruto has dismissed as primitive and backward notions that regions of the country would be allocated government resources according to how they voted. Brenda Wanga has more.
It is primitive and backwards for anybody to imagine that any region of Kenya cannot get development on account of how they voted. That is not right, that is not correct, and I want to assure the people of Kenya that we are going to move together as one nation.
The statement by President Ruto was categorical, and it came no less in Nyanza, the bedrock of opposition politics. Ruto's statement was quickly placed to context, with many Kenyans expressing little doubt on the intended target of the statement.
I have no apologies. I am unapologetic to demand and to insist that those who believed in William Ruto and supported him to a man have every right to benefit immensely from his government. I have no apology at all. And if that can bring a problem, so be it. So be it.
From the onset of the Kenya Kwanza government, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has driven a contentious narrative that government is like a private shareholding company. And living true to the narrative, the Deputy President has unapologetically confined his energies to his Mount Kenya region and only picked President Ruto's Rift Valley backyard as his second region of preference. The shareholding narrative came unmasked in the recent cabinet reshuffle as Deputy President Gachagua's allies expressed displeasure entirely from a regional viewpoint.
Let us rally around the Deputy President who has security of tenure. He was elected by the people, and his is a joint ticket with the President. So we work around it, supporting the two of them, working together. But when we come down, let us remember we come from certain regions. Let us rally around the Deputy President so that he can become the bridge between ourselves and the President, so that we are able to move.
Gachagua's claim of majority shareholding in government first emerged in February this year, where the Deputy President laid bare the plans for those who supported and those who opposed their candidature.
Na ni ya shares. Si ndio? Ni ya shares. Kuna wenye kampuni, wale wako na shares mingi, kuna wale wako na chache, kuna wale hawana. Sasa nyinyi mliinvest kwa hii kampuni ya William Ruto na Rigathi Gachagua. Sasa lazima mvune. Yule ambaye alipanda atafanya nini? Simulipanda? Simuliamuka mapema? Mukasema mutaki kusikia mambo ya ile system na nini? Muka invest, mukapanda, mukapalilia, mukaweka mbolea, mukamwagilia maji, wakati ya kuvuna ndio huu.
That narrative roundly condemned first by the opposition and increasingly later by even those in the same political boat as a deputy.
Wewe unasema, naibu yako ndiye amesema ati hao watu watakuwa naangalia tu. Ile kazi yake kukaa pale kuangalia kama gatekeeper. Wewe uko na shangapi? Wewe huna chochote, rudi nyuma. Wewe kuja hapa mbele hapa namna hiyo.
And the Deputy President should be the last person to talk about shareholding, because he took an oath under the Constitution.
Hii kitu ya shares sasa mwache. Wakenya wote tuko ndani ya serikali ya Kenya. maneno ya kusema unajua hii sehemu shares sijui nini, share yote sisi Wakenya wote tuko ndani ya shares za Kenya.
Sababu ya mazao yenu na ushuru ambayo mnalipa, kila Mkenya ni shareholder. Mkenya wote ni shareholder katika serikali ya William Samoei Ruto.
The backlash from the DP's statements and now the reprimanding from his boss appears to underline the perceived friction between the top two leaders of the Kenya Kwanza administration. But Gachagua remains on the shareholders' warpath, even pledging to push the stocks up.
And to make sure that we increase our shareholding in his government from 47% to almost 60%. Many people are uncomfortable about our shareholding.
Brenda Wanga, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Douglas, you heard the story, and please.
Hey, that shareholding story, it's an old story. I think near 4 months ago. I think the Nini was just to bring
Are you guys
light.
gonna play that video I shared with you?
Will you?
I'll play it, but wait for us a little bit. We are playing it shortly.
Okay, the point was to check that. Okay, today people raised the questions of is there a rift between the president and his deputy? So I think that was just a walk down memory lane to a time when they were disagreeing on ideologies. But I think the deputy president so far has been sort of he knows who's boss and he respects him. There will only be a disagreement that will lead to a fallout if he starts to think that this guy is wrong. But as long as he supports him, he supports what he says, and they're going to be okay. Yeah, that's my thought on that one.
Okay, I'll play the video and then Lala will submit.
Of emergency at this hour as the country's gangs have freed thousands of people from prisons and are reportedly trying to bring down Haiti's unelected Prime Minister, Ariel Henry. Dan Cohen from Uncaptured Media, of course, has been covering Haiti like no other and joins us. He just actually returned from Haiti where things have gotten a little out of hand. But I did, air quotes for gangs, Dan, because there is the story that the media tells us about what's going on in Haiti, and then there's the truth, which is, of course, what you have uncovered. What is going on in Haiti right now?
Yeah, I think it's appropriate to use those air quotes on gangs. I mean, there are real gangs, but the real gang are the ones running the country at the behest of the U.S., and that's what we're seeing a long-term sort of popular uprising coalesce right now in the rejection of the interim prime minister, who I think is now the longest serving prime minister in Haitian history, Ariel Henry, basically being rejected by the country. So essentially what's going on is Ariel Henry left about a week ago to go to Kenya. And in Nairobi, he has signed an agreement with the Kenyan government to send in basically what amount to death squads. I did an investigation at Uncaptured Media on these. They call them Kenyan Police Special Forces, but these are straight up death squads that have a extremely horrific track record inside their own country. And so the U.S. has been seeking a military intervention in Haiti, but doesn't want to do it itself because they know that the Haitian masses would reject it because of the history of bloody U.S. interventions in the past. And so the U.S. has been seeking other countries, has tried every single way, ram it through the United Nations, through CARICOM, and finally got the Kenyans, apparently through a hefty bribe worth hundreds of millions of dollars, to agree to send 5,000 police special forces, as I said, death squads.
It's amazing, right? Because, yeah, all of these other countries, like, no, we're not sending troops, we're not sending forces, we're not doing... So how in the world did the United States manage to bribe them? Like, what was the bribe here to get them to send thousands of people?
Yeah, hundreds of millions of dollars to this incredibly corrupt Kenyan government that is basically a landing strip for the United States, and in the region of Africa, that it's in is a top U.S. ally. So, and has participated in all kinds of interventions throughout Africa, and even in Yugoslavia in previous decades, and so it's a dependable kind of regime for the United States in Africa, and they figure, well, we can get basically a black face on this American intervention in Haiti. That's the idea. However, that has met some legal hurdles in Kenya, namely because there has to be a bilateral agreement with the government of Haiti, and the government of Haiti is unelected. So they're trying to ram it through anyway. Prime Minister Ariel Henry goes to Kenya to get this thing signed. And now that he's out of the country, what's happened is these armed groups, some of which are criminal in nature and are fair to call gangs, and some of which are not criminal in nature, and we've profiled extensively, here on Redacted. These armed groups have a sort of non-aggression pact, I think is the best way to describe it. And so what they've done is gone and occupied the airport in Port-au-Prince, which basically means that Ariel Henry cannot come into the country and cannot land. And at this point, I don't think anyone even knows where Ariel Henry is. So this is the main thing they're trying to accomplish, is keep Ariel Henry out, this unelected tin pot dictator controlled by the United States, to keep him out. Inside the country, you have this non-aggression pact between these armed groups, and these armed groups are who carried out this raid on the prison, freeing thousands of prisoners. And now I just want to kind of help people understand, what is this non-aggression pact? Who are the gangs? Who are the other armed groups? So we have profiled extensively a guy named Jimmy Cherizier. His nickname is Barbecue, who is a former Haitian police officer who was basically burned by the system and became a quote-unquote outlaw. And he founded a group called the Revolutionary Forces of the G9 Family and Allies, and which basically sought to unite armed groups against the criminal armed groups. And so for years, for about 4 years, the G9, led by Cherizier, has been fighting against these gangs, these criminal gangs that kidnap, that rape, that murder, and really terrorize the population. He came to a point where he was unable to fight them and actually really defeat them, because there are so many, and they are heavily armed and funded by the elites in Haiti who are tied to the US. So what he did is he decided, look, I'm not able to defeat them, so I'm going to have a sort of non-aggression pact with them. And that was created last year in something called Vivre Ensemble, living together. Is what it means in Creole. And so Vivre Ensemble is very fraught. There have been groups that have come in it and come out of it. But basically, Cherizier has tried to keep this non-aggression pact together to focus on getting rid of Ariel Henry. And then once Ariel Henry is out, then they can kind of, determine what happens next. So it's basically, it's really a gamble for Cherizier, who I believe in what he is trying to do, in the sense that he wants to improve the conditions of his country. So, people aren't living in literal sewage. But he's had to essentially make a deal with the devil in order to defeat a larger devil. So what happens now is anyone's guess. It's a very kind of unstable moment.
It's fascinating because, as you've posted on X, we see, these incredible images of him speaking, Jimmy Cherizier speaking to thousands of people in Haiti. And for the first time, I'm seeing him wear a suit and tie instead of sort of like military fatigues. And he's it seems like he's trying to bring these people together to rise up against these imperialists who are trying to take over our country, the United States, the United Nations, who are trying to come in here and exploit our people, and trying to, it seems, get these individuals whom the United States has had in their back pockets for a long time on his side, saying, maybe stand with Haiti rather than the imperialists, the United States. It's a tall order. What's your sense of whether or not he can pull this off?
It's anybody's guess, really, at this moment. I mean, those armed groups that has this non-aggression pact with are dangerous. They're killers. But whether he can convince any of them to change their ways remains to be seen. Whether he has to end up fighting them as he was before, and has been for years, that's a big question. And he has been fighting some of them. This whole Vivre Ensemble non-aggression pact, like I said, has been very fraught. For example, he lives in a neighborhood called Lower Delma, which he is basically responsible for, and he for years fought the next neighborhood over called Bel Air, led by a guy named Kempes Sanon, who is an unrepentant kidnapper. Now he has a non-aggression pact with him. Does that mean they're allies? They're at peace? No, it just means they're currently not shooting at each other, not killing each other. But he has Barbecue, the G9, has been fighting against other groups from a few streets over, and that was happening when I was there with Kim Ives of Haiti Liberté just about 2 weeks ago. So we see that this is very I keep saying the word fraught. It's the best way to describe it. It's extremely fraught. It's unknown how it could develop. And he's at the same time, actually, that he has been making these non-aggression pacts with these different armed groups. Those armed groups have actually still been attacking other neighborhoods. And what Barbecue has been doing is taking in the victims from those neighborhoods and allowing them to take shelter inside his neighborhood, allowing them to set up markets, which is basically how they survive, by selling, in informal markets on the street. So it's just a totally fluid situation that could just go any way.
Do you get the sense that the United States meddling, or the United Nations meddling in this, is subsiding, or is this sort of a catalyst moment where you're about to see a lot more nefarious, I don't want to say boots on the ground, but money flowing in, arms flowing in, meddling flowing in all of the ways that the U.S. manages to meddle, and we don't see it in the open air?
I mean, it's no secret that the arms come from the U.S. and have been for quite a while, whether through official or unofficial means. I mean, Florida has very lax gun laws. It's easy to get guns out and smuggle them in to Haiti. So that has been going on for quite a while. I mean, I think the U.S.'s overall strategy is really faltering. They haven't been able to convince many countries to go in. Even with Kenya has said they would contribute 5,000 police. Benin, which is in West Africa, recently announced that they would contribute 1,000 police. The Bahamas, a few other countries have said they would contribute, very small amounts, which are more symbolic than anything. But it's really not enough to be able to accomplish what the U.S. wants, which is to basically go in and root out these, so-called gangs. First of all, just the number of forces. I think you want, maybe a 5-to-1 ratio of foreign troops going into these neighborhoods, where the locals, of course, have the advantage. It's like the Americans going into Vietnam or something. You're going against people who know the terrain, who speak the language, who can blend in, with the civilian population, with the public, and they just kind of appear and disappear and this kind of thing. So it's really a bad situation for any Kenyan or any Kenyan police officer to be going into these slums in Haiti trying to, also they don't even speak the language. In Kenya, they speak English and Swahili, but they don't speak Creole. They don't even speak French. So they're going to be totally clueless. And basically it's just not a very strong recipe. It's not a strong plan for a success of any kind of intervention. So I think the US's strategy overall is very half-baked. And the idea of just keeping Ariel Henry in there indefinitely is obviously not working either. So I think, you know, at least from what I can see, they don't have any really good answers for this situation that they've created through multiple coups d'etats against the popular elected president of Haiti, Jean-Bertrand Aristide, in the 90s, and then again in the early 2000s, the gutting of the state, the assassination of the president, Jovenel Moïse, in 2021. It's just the U.S. has abused Haiti in every way possible and exploited its labor in such extreme ways and shaped it. And now it's got this mess on its hands that it's trying to, you know, stuff back into, but it just doesn't have a good way, is what I see.
Wow, there's a long track record of the United States doing that in multiple countries. Destabilizing these countries through assassinations, coups d'etats, and then realizing they've made a massive mess and then trying to stuff that genie back in the bottle. I could run down a laundry list of those countries. So yeah, Haiti under a state of emergency at this hour. Look what the United States hath wrought. Dan Cohen, I encourage everyone to go over to check and go to his YouTube channel, go to Uncaptured Media, whether on YouTube or Rumble, and watch the new documentary that you've just done there and all of your coverage of Haiti. So some great journalism over there, as always. Dan, great to see you.
Thank you, Clayton.
I really hope.
Lala, I think you've gotten the information.
Oh, yes, I just want Kenyans to have a feel of what it is to step into Haiti and see the dynamics, because there is no point sacrificing our beloved citizens to go and fight in a war they can't win, a place they are not prepared to not being prepared to fight in. Language and culture foreign to them, thousands and thousands of miles, away from home. It's just mindlessness to imagine that this is what Ruto is sending our people, and that is good journalism. You Kenyans can now understand exactly what is going on, and that's why we should not even consider going there. And Ruto should be told no, no, no. So I wanted Kenyans to see that. And thank you. The bishop sent us that video clip, and they are concerned of what's going on in Haiti. I think, of course, when that video was made, Aristide had not yet landed in Puerto Rico, but he's in Puerto Rico, which is a U.S. territory, and so it's basically protected there. And I don't know how it's going to go back there. And that's someone who did this in Haiti, and he's been covering Haiti for a long time. And Kenyans can now listen and see exactly what's going on. And just tying it to the women, I don't think any woman would want their son and daughter to go there. And so every woman must come out. Those women governors, stand strong, stand for us, for fellow women, for your sons or daughters who will be heading into that quagmire that nobody, any sane human being, should not step in a place like that when things are not even clear. Thank you.
Thank you, Lala, for that submission. Thank you for that submission. And I don't know if Douglas has something to say. If we don't, Douglas don't have something to say, we wrap up. Douglas, what to say?
Okay. I don't think I have any comment on that for now. Just want to ask Lala a question. So what does US want? Do they want the Prime Minister to resign? Are they trying to, uphold his leadership? I mean, why are they doing this?
I think what we can do is simply speculate. I don't think they have any clue what to do. But remember, we also have here some domestic politics that also may weigh into this. I personally support Biden, okay? But on this issue, I don't, and they know that. I made that very, very clear. But I think there is the aspect of an issue like this used, to detract people from the real American issues. And so I think they're nervous about what's going on in Haiti. They don't have any answer right now. I think they were weighing on Kenya to give them the face of black, which can be good for home politics, but I don't think it's working at this moment. So no clue, no answers at this moment.
Okay. Okay. Lala, we don't have much to speak today. For today, I think we have come to an end. People have decided to stay away. They don't want to come to show. They don't want to participate. But before I wrap up, I'll just remind something a little bit, whereby I remind you, let us support Sound Candid Talk, please. Sound Candid Talk, we need to support Sound Candid Talk. We have a lot of bills to pay. So it's high time we stand up and help Sound Candid, as Bernard as I just earlier, and also Nini. Baby, as we know, it is end month. So please, as we continue advocating for people joining membership, let us also support Sound Candid Talk by the till number on the screen, or the number scrolling on these numbers on the screen, and the name will bring Bernard Makoha. Please let us support Sound Candid Talk so that Bernard can also continue. And also Bernard went to the funeral. Many people are asking about Bernard. He's burying his aunt, and he will be back soon. So I'll be still holding a little bit, but sometimes he'll be joining us, as he is away, he will be joining us sometimes. But don't worry, we'll be having Bernard. But what we can do to support, please support Sound Candid Talk by the details on the screen. You can use the till number 516575, or you can use the Bernard number plus 254 718 454 585 plus 254 718 454 585. And the name is Bernard Makoha. So please let us support it and help it to grow, and as we continue paying the bill, so that you can keep us continue being here. We can't be here as you don't also want to support us. Please support Sound Candid Talk. Even the details are also in the comment section. And also don't forgetting to tell you that also we have the details for joining Sound Candid Talk and being a membership, so that we stop these fundraising issues every month, where we can join Sound Candid Talk. That link that the students join Sound Candid Talk as a member, I also have placed the link on the comment section. So click the link and you will join and be a member of Sound Candid Talk. The link also on the comment section. The link is as I displays on the screen. Join membership of Sound Candid Talk, and it will be great. Please join membership and be part of this, so that we can help this going on. And those who have been debating, also those who have been joining, please, I urge you, wherever you go live, please come join, so that we discuss this out. This is an open forum. It's not one-on-one talk. One-on-one talk will be doing it during daytime, and also other sessions. We'll be having one-on-one talk. But the thing is that I urge you, please don't just sitting there, just remain alone, keeping us speaking, and we don't want to join. We just want to watch from the side. Please, sometimes join, be part of this, so that we can discuss together. We can have the vibe together. We can learn more together, and we can come to conclusion together. So don't be missing this. But we're just ending this broadcast, but we are opening another one. So don't go away. We're just ending this segment, but we are coming up with the next segment that will be rolling down. So please don't go away and continue watching. And what I urge you, join memberships and also support Sound Candid Talk using the details scrolling down the screen, or also use the details that I'll display earlier to support Sound Candid Talk. Please support Sound Candid Talk, so that we can help us moving, and we can help us also going on. and bringing more and more information from every dimension of the world, or from every corner, so that we can have a good and very organized way. So that I appreciate it. And as we conclude, let us tell us the story about Haiti. I hope everyone, you have realized something about the Haiti story. I hope it will take us, it will make us to understand and have an eye open. So please, let us not just sleep on our ears and be silent as our nation goes wrong. No, please don't be silent as that. So we will be just going for just a short commercial break, but we are coming up with another field. So please don't hesitate to join the next field. And it will be great. So don't go away. Be part of this, and it will be awesome. So thank you for those who have been watching. I appreciate it. This is Sound Candid Talk, the home where we is life and change masses, and I really appreciate. Lala, appreciate for being within the panel tonight. We managed to have you tonight, and also Mama Mandamano Camille tonight for this segment. I really appreciate it. So thank you for everyone, and thank you for the people in the comment section. Indeed, you are doing great job, and thank you for those who are watching. So we're just ending this feed, but we are coming up with the next feed. So don't go away. We're still here till morning. So don't go away. We're having with the next feed. Thank you.
Afadhali mzee ambaye ni mtulivu, ambaye hana haja ya kujaza mifuko yake, ambaye atachunga masilahi ya watu yake, badala ya mdomo tamtamu, lakini akiingia ni wale wa kufanya moja yako, nusu ya mwananchi, mbili yako, na tano yangu. Na mnawajua nyinyi
kutafuta uongozi kwa kutumia dini au kutumia kabila, unagawa watu. Kazi ya uongozi ni kujenga watu wawe kitu kimoja.
The 2.2 billion has been spent in the office of the president and State House between July and September. If you do that calculation, it means that we spend in that office 23 million per day and 1 million per hour. That cannot be sustainable.